Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
A huge cyber attack. Michigan-based Flagstar Bank is hit, and now customers' personal information may be compromised. We have the latest information you need to know coming up in a Help Me Hank report.
You are currently enjoying the warmest day of 2021 so far. Can we do it again tomorrow before spring starts to flex? Kim?
Okay, Ben, but we begin with a major expansion of vaccine eligibility in the city of Detroit. Starting now, adults who work in the city and are required to go into work can sign up to get their shots. It's considered a key step in getting back to normal and getting Detroit back to work.
Previously only open to people like food workers and janitors, now all people who need to go into work to get their jobs done. Today's announcement comes as the state expanded eligibility to adults 50 and over and all adults with disabilities or chronic conditions.
And all of this is happening as the number of new cases have been steadily climbing over the past few weeks. We're going to kick off our coverage tonight with Jason Colthorpe and the big announcement from Mayor Duggan this afternoon. Jason, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Kim. And when you look at the numbers, the age groups getting the vaccine, like 60 to 69, are not the ones seeing a spike. So the city making the decision here to get as many age groups as possible vaccinated.
Our numbers are going in the wrong direction.
The city of Detroit's chief medical officer today reporting the positivity rate in the city has doubled in the last week. Hospitalizations also up. Cases per day up from 56 to 123, with the biggest jump in the 20 to 29 age group.
We are also seeing a steady increase in new positive cases in schools, especially amongst the athletes. And I do want to encourage parents to get tested if you have symptoms or have been exposed, and also get vaccinated to protect your students.
What I'm going to show you right now is heartbreaking.
Mayor Mike Duggan also with some unfortunate statistics. 9 Detroiters have died that had been eligible for weeks to get vaccinated, including a restaurant worker in their 40s.
We have to stop the spread of infections.
To that end, the mayor announcing today anyone who lives or works in the city can get vaccinated right now.
You are in the only city I know of in the country that you can dial the phone right now and have an appointment for a shot within a couple of days. And I just hope Detroiters take advantage of that.
And just, you hear that and you're thinking, okay, yeah, I'm sure that's the case. On a personal note, our studios are in downtown Detroit. When I heard the mayor say that, I dialed the number just an hour ago. I was on hold for a half an hour, then walked through, made the appointment for this Wednesday. And Wednesday, by the way, is a big day in the city with statewide vaccination site at Ford Field happening at the same time as the TCF Center. Detroiters can go to either one, but if you're part of that new group working in Detroit, in the city, you have to go to TCF. But remember, call for that appointment, 313-230-0505. Devin?
And what are we hearing now about the Tigers and opening day? So much discussion about what is always a big day in a city.
Right. And the mayor was kind of nonchalant because he's going. He has tickets and he just kind of said, well, I'm going. But he is encouraging everybody to be careful. He didn't really have an opinion on groups possibly gathering outside, but the advice is be careful, still take those extra precautions as you do. Go ahead.
All right, Jason, let's stay with vaccination efforts. Government leaders today toured the Ford Field COVID-19 vaccination site.
The federally selected regional mass vaccination site will administer an additional 6,000 doses a day for 2 months. Stay tuned because at 5:30, Rod Maloney will have a closer look at how everything will work when the doors open to the public on Wednesday. The city of Clinton Township in mourning tonight after the loss of its police chief.
Chief Fred Posovitz died today from complications due to COVID-19. He started his career with the Clinton Township Department in 1980, that's nearly 41 years ago, worked his way up the ranks to become police chief in April of 2007. We're told he was planning to retire this June. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll have more on the chief's legacy. Fred Posovitz was just 64 years old. All right, now to the latest on the coronavirus numbers from over the weekend. The jump that we've been hearing, the state reporting 4,801 new cases over the past 2 days, so an average of about 2,400 cases a day. 6 more deaths have also been reported over that same time.
And when it comes to the vaccine, 3.8 million doses have been delivered here to Michigan, with 3.4 million shots going into arms. Tonight, the White House COVID response team says there is evidence that the vaccines are having an impact.
But that progress threatens to be outdone by people dropping precautions and a rapidly growing interest in travel, too. Dr. Frank McGeorge here with the latest from today's briefing. Doc?
Yeah, Kim and Devin. So the CDC director again stressed now is not the time to travel. But we are making progress on vaccine front. In fact, tonight, nearly 1 in 3 adults have received at least 1 dose of the vaccine, and 42% of seniors are now fully vaccinated.
We have seen that the vaccines are working. With increasing numbers of those over 65 now fully vaccinated, we're seeing the benefit. For the first time since last summer, the percent of those over 65 presenting to our emergency departments because of COVID-19 is lower than those aged 26 to 45 in the United States.
But that great news is being tempered by increasing cases in several states, including Michigan.
The Northeast and the upper Midwest are beginning to again see a significant rise in cases.
Crowded scenes from spring break also raising concerns about travelers bringing variants back home.
We are at a critical point in this pandemic, a fork in the road, where we as a country must decide which path we are going to take. We must act now, and I am worried that if we don't take the right actions now, we will have another avoidable surge, just as we are seeing in Europe right now.
As states race to vaccinate, a new option will soon be going before the FDA. AstraZeneca says its vaccine was 79% effective at preventing symptomatic COVID in trials conducted in the U.S., Peru, and Chile. It was 100% effective against severe COVID, hospitalization, and deaths. A safety review found no increased risk of blood clots. While the U.S. is expected to have sufficient vaccine without AstraZeneca, it is considered critical to helping vaccinate other countries.
Emergency use is already in play in more than 70 countries across 6 continents, and it has been given emergency use listing by the WHO.
Now, AstraZeneca is expected to file for emergency use authorization next month. After that, the FDA will do a thorough review of their data and take it to the independent advisory panel, as we've seen done with previous vaccines.
Doctor, we also know there are some advantage globally when it comes to the AstraZeneca vaccine, right?
Yeah, Devin, there are actually 2 big ones. One, it is one of the least expensive, the cheapest vaccines, in part because AstraZeneca has actually pledged to not profit from the vaccine during the pandemic. It is also one of the easiest to transport. It can be stored at normal refrigerator temperature for at least 6 months. That is a major plus when it comes to shipping it all around the world.
It sure is. Great on the logistics front. All right, Doc. Let's turn now quickly to the weather because it is another gorgeous spring day across Metro Detroit.
Gorgeous indeed. You just can't beat it for the middle of March, but you know things are going to change here pretty soon. Let's get over to Ben tracking that for us. Hi, Ben.
Hey, Kim and Devin. Yeah, when we woke up this morning at 34 degrees, a lot of us were not expecting to finish at 71 this afternoon. 37-degree spread between that low and the high. Nowhere close to the record, though. That was 86 back in 2012. We may do it again tomorrow. We're going to see very similar temperatures, but you can see what's in the offing. And it's not warmer out here to the west. We will be seeing cooler temperatures as we progress through the week, but we've also got a pretty active pattern setting up, especially as we get into Wednesday and Friday. 2 of 3 systems that we're going to face in the next 7 days. Both of them are coming with wind, but that system Thursday night into Friday, that looks to be the major player. Could see over an inch of rain and could have gusts of over 45 miles per hour with that system. So first full week of spring, guys, it starts to get a lot more active towards the back end of this forecast. We'll run it down for you in a few minutes.
Okay, Ben, thank you. Tonight, Flagstar is warning customers their personal information, including Social Security numbers, may have been stolen in a ransomware breach.
Crime of our times. Consumer investigator Hank Winchester has been working to get answers and joins us now with what customers need to know. Hank.
This is a very big hack, and it could affect many customers and employees of Michigan-based Flagstar Bank. Now, here's the latest information I know. Apparently, this hack was discovered by IT professionals back in January, but many customers saying that they were just notified recently about this compromised situation. So, what did these high-tech thieves get? Well, we are told they have access to Social Security numbers and some home addresses, not only of customers, but also possibly of employees. Flagstar reaching out to those affected and offering credit monitoring services to those that may be at risk. It's also a good idea for yourself to take some time, make sure that your personal information is locked down. If you have questions, if you are a Flagstar customer, best advice, contact the bank yourself directly. We're here in Royal Oak. Hank Winchester, help me, Hank.
Okay, Hank, a 15-year-old girl has died after being shot by her stepfather in Clawson.
It happened yesterday afternoon in the area of 14 Mile near Main Street. The girl was rushed to the hospital where she died. A neighbor was also shot. The teen's stepfather then barricaded himself inside the home. After an hours-long standoff, police say the gunman was found dead inside. Neighbors who live nearby are still in shock.
I just feel really sad about the teenager because, kind of hits close to home a little bit, and it just seems senseless. This 15 years old, you're just starting to live.
We're told the neighbor is recovering tonight in the hospital. They're expected to be okay. Well, we are off and running here on a Monday. Here's Defender Karen Drew.
Piles of personal information left behind at a local school.
Once you get up to that office, it was just a door that you opened. Actually, I think it was already open, and there's just files there.
Why were the documents left, and why didn't security do a better job keeping this abandoned school locked down? The Defenders with the video coming up.
As you can see, a family in Pinckney has lost so much, but you're going to hear from them because they're going to tell you that even with this, they've gained just as much back.
We had strangers, churches, our friends, our family. We have so much, thank God. I don't know how somebody would get through this without that.
The overwhelming amount of support that this family has received, and they didn't expect any of it.
Finally, starting to put some of the pieces together in the murder mystery of Egypt Covington. The three suspects go to court today for a long preliminary hearing where some evidence started to come out. We have it all covered for you next.